Welcome back to the Compound Podcast. This is 160, who knows? 163.
You know who would know? Scott F. Ross would know.
Yeah, he would. It's a good
Presented by Parse Rum. Parse is my favorite rum. It's your favorite rum. It's the rum for whiskey drinkers. Go to Benny's. Go to wherever you buy your liquor and ask them about Parse Rum. Can I ask you guys a question?
Sure can.
We all right this morning? Tensions are a little high.
No.
I get on here, and we got Dakota and Zach going back and forth about hair. Everybody's my hair.
It wasn't
great.
a back.
My hair looks great. You want to say something nice about my hair?
Zach got a nice haircut, and Dakota's shitting on me.
Zach took his hat off and he pushed it down, and I was like, "Man, Zach can get really bad hat head if he's not careful."
It's fucking.
And he took it as a slight, and I was like, "That's just a fact of life. Like
Everybody has hat hair.
I know. I'm saying.
So what are we saying?
Pull yours down in the front. Pull it, push it all down.
Pull yours down.
Look at that.
Ian,
that's
Ian,
bad.
pull yours down. Tom pulls yours
Ian,
down.
Isn't that incredible?
I mean, my hair just stays like this all the time because it's so nice. Zach, I think your hair looks fine, man.
I wasn't chirping him.
I know once you get a little style into that thing, it's gonna look great.
That's what I'm saying.
Did you get a little shorter on top than usual, though? Looks a little shorter.
I'm sick and tired of long hair.
Sick and tired of it.
You hit game time singles. You can do what you want, man.
Zach, talk us through. For anyone, Tom, will you clip this into the episode? For anyone that didn't see it on the Compound Twitter last night, 5-4 ball game. 5-4?
Yes.
Ninth inning,
5-4.
2 outs, 2 strikes.
There we go.
Shorty,
Change it?
RBI single to tie it. Tigers on a little bit of a stretch, a little bit of a no-win stretch, grinding a little bit.
We don't want to say it. I wouldn't want to say a little bit, a lot of bit of a stretch.
But Shorty came through in the clutch. Tell us about it.
I mean, yeah, we were again playing the Braves. That is a lineup that is it just doesn't stop. And they kind of let us off the hook a few times yesterday. It felt like every inning they had guys in scoring position and they just couldn't get a huge hit. I mean, they scored 5 runs, but we got out of a base. We had a bullpen day too. So, I mean, our bullpen absolutely put us on their back as our pitching staff has done for a really long time now, especially with how we've been hitting. So yeah, I mean, we were down 5-1 in the 8th inning, get it to 5-2. And then in the 9th, and they bring in Iglesias. They play the game as perfect as you could play with, their starter goes 6 in, and Morton was just throwing it. The guy's 40 years old, still throwing 95. It was insane. And then they go 7-8-9 with their 7-8-9 pitchers. It ended up perfect for them. And so in the top of the 9th or bottom 9, we're down 5-2. Scopey leads off with a base hit to left. Torque goes way back to make it 5-4. So we got no outs, 5-4. Carp gets a base hit, guy in first, and then Maton grounds into what seems to be a game-ending double play. Beats out.
How do you say his last name?
Yeah, Maton.
Maton, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, Dave. Sorry.
And then Veerling goes second or third pitch, backside 110, just unbelievable, head high line drive to right. It was so sick to watch on deck. I kind of had to reel it back in. I was like, ooh, that was a sick swing. I was like, all right, let's lock in for this, the biggest at bat of the season so far. And then so I faced Iglesias in spring. I saw 2 or 3 pitches from him. He likes a lot of his off speed. And tonight or last night, he was going a lot, his changeup pretty often than I would have expected. So, I mean, I think we batted around. So I had a good 6 or 7 guys ahead of me anyway to watch and kind of see what he was doing. So in the back of my mind, he was throwing a bunch of stuff, but you have to respect the 96 as well, which is tough because you faced him when he was with the Reds. It comes out quick, especially with a guy on. He's like a 1-1 to home.
And it's kind of a low 3/4 slot for righties. It runs in on him, kind of like that carry. It's actually he and Diaz, the Diaz brothers, they kind of remind me of each other with the way that they throw in the fastball action.
Yeah, for sure. And during when we could see the line moving, our hitting coach comes up to me and was like, hey man, you always say when guys speed up, you have a hard time getting ready. And he was like, you can sit screw everything else, just get ready early. And that was basically the only thing that was going through my mind. And so he threw me a first pitch slider. And like you said, he kind of has that low towards third base release. And Maton wasn't really off second base all that much. I think Albies was pretty close to him. And then he was really quick to home. So there's not really much time to get out there. And I lost the ball in his jersey.
In his jersey.
Yeah. So like I took it and it was a slider. It was like I don't want to say a hanger, but it was like middle away, like up in the zone. And I was like, okay, I probably wasn't going to swing anyway once I saw spin. But I was like, I legitimately did not see that ball until it got to home plate. So basically didn't see the slider. And then he went slider again for a ball, saw it really well. So in the back of my mind, I'm like, hey, be ready for the heater still, but respect the other things. And then he went slider again. I fouled straight back, which is another really good one to hit. So, and I did not think after I was on that, I didn't think he was going to come the fourth one. So basically I thought he was just going to try to gas me up and ended up going change up down that I just stayed on enough and hit it to left. And I mean, it was sick just because, we not lost 9 in a row. We couldn't hit. I left 3 or 4 guys on earlier in the game with 2 outs to end the innings. Couldn't get anybody home. And I think just for everybody, and then especially for Torque, I mean, that guy, he's been thrown through everything as 22 years old. Like, hey, you're barely going to play in the minor leagues. You're going to get drafted in 20. And just basically we've asked to ride him for as long as he's been up. Like, hey man, you're the 1-1, like, you don't care how old you are, but we're going to ride you. And to have him really have that first moment of like, this was awesome. He's been grinding all year and he's had the worst luck in baseball. He's had, I think 2 weeks ago, he had the highest line drive rate in baseball. And he was hitting like 220 at the time. And he's had really bad luck all year. And just to see him, he goes way back. And then to end the game in the 9th or 10th was just so sick for him to watch.
The thing that stuck out to me about this whole story that I think is very underappreciated when there's a rally like this in a baseball game. How often does that guy hustling down the line and beating out the backside of a double play result in the team getting to see more pitches from the pitcher, being able to put something together? First, Dakota, can you tell me how frustrating it is as the pitcher when you think you have a double play ball and the guy beats it by half a step? Or
Dakota, before you start, like the ball was hit pretty hard too. Like he hit like a 2-hopper to Albies, and they you could see it was like slow developing. But I mean, Maton beat it by like a good step.
There's nothing I love more than when a runner just jogs to first. He's like pissed that he grounded out. I'm like, oh no, don't hustle, no. Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, Ian, like it's huge. It keeps the inning going. Like the next guy could hit a homer. Like you never know what could happen when you hustle down the line and beat out that double play. It changes the entire inning. And like not a lot of times, but you'll see guys like I said, get pissed. They hit a grounder right at someone. They're not happy. So they just kind of like 75% it to first, and it's an easy double play. So it's huge that he was able to beat that out.
It's massive. I mean, it's just so massive for innings. And I think it's pretty emphasized in the big leagues when you have a spot like that. If there's a guy in third, if there's a guy in second, big spot in the game to get down the line. Joe is always big on it. I know Rossi is on getting down the line on double plays and just keeping the inning going. And I think it's a very underappreciated thing when guys do it and how big of a momentum shift it can be.
And as an infielder, like if you know that this guy busted down the line every single time, like in the back of your mind, like, hey, I have to be absolutely perfect with everything I do on this play.
And yeah. And Zach, like how much harder is it when like double plays, like they're not like guys are fast. Like if you have someone with a little bit of speed in the box, like it's still tough to turn a double play if they take off down the line.
You have to make, like you have to make a perfect transfer. You have to make a perfect throw. And Albies was falling towards first base anyway. So he was kind of like on his heels and made like a decent throw to Arcia, I think. Yeah, Arcia. But like, again, everything has to be perfect. And if there's like a throw just a little bit off, like that could be the difference. And like you watch the replay of Maton running and he was just head down the whole entire time, I would think
as a hitter, that's what I'd do. Cause I'd be like pissed and I'd be like,
Get
I
your
don't
anger
let him
out,
double me
go on.
up. Like I'm not letting him do it.
No, that's what I do. I take all my energy and like madness
Run as
down
fast
to
as you
first.
can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Tom, did you miss me last week?
Yeah. I mean,
Oh my
was
gosh.
great. Scott was a
That-
great guest host, but yeah, I mean, it's always weird when the Compound podcast with Ian Happ is missing Ian Happ.
That was there was a pause there that spoke volumes when he first asked that question.
I had to unmute myself. I mute myself when
Yeah.
I'm not talking.
Tom, do you want to tell us about your hat?
Brooklyn Cyclones. I went Saturday, Margaritaville night, got a bucket hat. Love it.
Oh,
Someone tried to buy it off me, told them it was my new favorite hat, would never sell it. So
I love that.
not even
Tom,
for $1 million. You can never have it.
people were making like sincere, real offers, and I was like, I'm not selling it. It's
This is
something
mine.
on my head.
Tom, at some point this week, we're going to talk about the Yanks. Do you want to do it now, or would you like to do it later?
Whatever you'd like. I'm happy to talk about them now. I'm happy to talk about them later.
Let's talk about them now. You a little nervous without judging the lineup? How you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, generally, when you lose the best player in baseball, when the reigning AL MVP, it gets harder to win games. So,
Oh, he's better than Trout
I mean,
and Shohei. He's better than Shohei.
all right, when you lose a top 5 player in the game of baseball, whatever you want to rank them, it's going to be harder to win games. So I'm trying not to hit the panic button here. You know, I mean, it's obviously
I love that from you.
What was that? You don't want to hit the panic button?
I don't want to hit it. You know,
You get
they're
that-
obviously
can you-
in a tough
you get
division.
that in writing?
I feel like I get gaslit on this show. that I'm like
No.
some extremist Yankee fan, whereas I feel like I'm like compared to most Yankee fans, pretty rational, but then I'm gaslit into being believed
No,
that I am insane.
we would never do that, Tom.
Mm-mm.
The first class show, Tom.
How about the Willie Calhoun homer on Saturday? That it was the Statcast had it as it would go out in one stadium and one stadium only, Yankee Stadium. Gotta love that.
How about Willie Calhoun getting hit in a live BP against Carlos Rodon, getting hit in the elbow at like 95? And then, hey man, we need you in there. You're leading off tonight, by the way. Just enough time for the swelling to swell up and get you real stiff.
You know whose swing I always like? That was crazy. I don't just want to brush right by that. That was crazy. But you guys play against Jake Bowers in the minor leagues.
Six swing.
Yes.
Six swing.
I've always liked his swing a lot. I've always liked his swing.
I've always
He's got
heard
a
his
really pretty
name.
left-hand stroke.
I remember him with the Rays, right?
Rays. I played against him with the
And
Rays in the minor leagues, and maybe when he
Guardians,
was with the
too?
Guardians.
Yeah.
Yeah, always liked his swing. We came up kind of at the same time. I think we played against each other in Double-A in 16, and he raked. That Rays team had like Willie Adames and him and some other people, but I mean, I like that swing. I like that swing in Yankee Stadium too.
It does
Tom,
have
what
to
do you got
make no, I was going to say real quick about Bowers, kind of. But the best, I feel like the saving grace right now for the Yankees is there's still so many injured players. Like if they get fully healthy, they're still 9 games over 500 right now with like 6 major players out.
Yeah, Jake had a tweet the other day talking about their outfield situation right now, that like they have 4 major league outfielders on the roster, but really none of them, their primary position is really like outfield besides like Bader. It's, you know, listen, they're a team that's very injured. They're a team that's in a very tough division. It's probably a wild card or bust year, it seems. So you have to adjust your expectations accordingly. But hopefully, the biggest thing is Judge was having such a fun season. You want to just get him back so you can play another 140, 145 games. You know, because historically that kind of stuff matters, that you can kind of stack up another 140, another 145 game season after the year he had last year.
You punting on the division?
I mean, I'm not punting per se, but it's June 13th and it's looking difficult already. So you got to be
June
realistic.
13th last year, you were up 37 games, and then the rest of the season we had to deal with.
That's true.
Oh my God, we're never going to win again.
You didn't have to watch last season. Last season was genuinely one of the most difficult seasons to watch because of that, because they were so good through like June 15th. And then a mediocre below 500 team for 3.5 months. And I had to listen to you jokers tell me that, no, they're still great. They're still great. I'm like, they haven't played great in 3.5 months, guys. I don't know. Maybe they're just not very good anymore. I mean, right now they're 9 games out of first place. They're 38-29, which is crazy that they're 38-29 and 9 games out of first place on June 13th. But yeah, I mean, obviously the
Tampa's
Rays
playing
do
the
the
hottest
exact
team
same
in
thing that
baseball
we saw
right now.
last year, where they come back to earth at some point. But I don't know. This Rays team feels like it's built in an alien spaceship. So I don't really.
They're playing the hottest
foresee
team
that
in
happening.
baseball, Tom. They're coming back. All right.
How about your guy Sterling taking the foul ball off the dome too?
Dude.
And then just still competing after.
I saw that once, and I don't want to watch it again. Like, that sounded horrible.
It sounded
Yeah.
loud.
Dude, I was like, oh my God. I like cringed because I thought it was gonna be like a ricochet. Like, well, that was like,
Yeah.
We first heard the audio on Saturday night, and it was kind of funny at first because you're like not funny, but it was like more light.
Yeah.
It felt like because you didn't see the video and you didn't quite realize how much of it, like how hard he actually got hit. So I sent it to my girlfriend on Saturday, and I was like, oh, this is like kind of charming moment from John where he like recovers. And then you see the video, and I sent it to my girlfriend, and she was like, why would you ever send this to me? I'm just like sad now. An old man just got hit very hard and like looks sad.
and then he told Judge, he's like, yeah, I'm not going on the IL. I'm all good.
Well, there was a picture the next day on Sunday of him with a bandage on his head and the baseball with a bandage as well, which I thought was pretty funny.
I think didn't Justin Turner send it up to the booth for him or something?
Yeah, and he
Does
wrote
hit
on
it?
it. Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
that's awesome.
I know, Tom. You hate if he plays for the Yankees, you hate him, but it was a cool thing. All right, don't get upset. You know who's been taking their athletic greens?
Me. Everyone.
Have you been? You've been taking them?
Yeah.
Sterling.
Been taking them. Sterling's been taking them. Sterling's been taking them. All great athletes have one thing in common: they take care of their bodies, and it starts with optimizing whole body health. A lot of them also take AG1. That's why I'm a huge fan. It's great for recovery if you get hit in a foul ball before a workout or even after you need a boost. You know who else I think has been taking AG1? I think Hicks went over to Baltimore and started drinking some AG1.
I said
So
it to
much
Tom.
more than greens powder. It's all your key health products in one. Set yourself up for success. 75 high quality ingredients that give you the key daily nutrients and support long-time gut health. Free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to athleticgreens.com/compound, athleticgreens.com/compound. Tom, last thing. Okay. Hicks goes Baltimore. It's kind of raking. It's kind of
I'm
doing
slinging it.
I got to be completely
Do you feel
honest.
like you booed him into hitting absolute rockets in Baltimore?
I said this a couple times that I felt like a change of scenery would be good for him. It felt like it was done as a Yankee for him. I was interested to see if he was able to refine the production that I thought was in there. And obviously he has. It is a small sample size, but I said to Zach, I'll be honest, I have not been tracking him clearly as closely as you guys are because I don't have anyone that I can make fun of about it. So I haven't been paying much attention, but I did just go look at his stats. And it's undeniably very impressive right now. And I know for some reason you guys think I hate him. I didn't want him to be a Yankee, but as a human being, I'm happy for him succeeding. As I said, he seemed like a nice guy. He seemed like someone who wanted to succeed. It just didn't feel like it was working out in New York, and I'm happy for him that it's working out. It sucks that it's in Baltimore. If it was on like the Rangers or someone, I'd be like even happier for him. I wish it wasn't in the division, but other than that,
Tom,
he goes on and has a nice career with the Orioles.
I'll give you a lot of props there. That must have took a lot to say you're happy for him. That was nice.
The only thing I heard when you started talking was boo, boo, boo.
That's what I believe you guys genuinely hear. I think I say one thing and then you guys hear something else sometimes.
We need to talk about college baseball. So
Wait.
Wait.
Before we shift to college, can we talk about Hendricks no hit bid, and then we'll shift to college?
Yeah.
I have a
Sorry
couple
about
things
that.
on college, so I wanted to touch on Hendricks before we switched over.
Are you going to say the main
Carl.
problem here, Dakota, of that game?
The main what?
The main problem of that game and that last ball that
I watched the game. So I came in the locker room after our game. I saw he had a no-hitter going on. I asked someone to watch it on MLB. I saw the ball, and I need IH8 running through the wall.
What the fuck up?
I want to get him going. I want to get him fired up. I want to get him fired up.
That I saw 2 pitches. Dakota, you texted in the group, and I was like, "Oh, let me throw this on." So first pitch, second pitch, double. Like, okay, that was fun.
Also, Hendricks calls his own game, huh?
He just started, so really cool.
I mean, that worked. Let's just say that was smart.
He has a start, his last start out before this one. Gets 3 pitch clock violations, kind of struggling to get, like, I think on the same page or set up hitters the way he wants. And Kyle is so different from a lot of guys now where his mix, like, it all plays off each other, but he really has to set up pitches. Like he, he's throwing 86 to 88. He's got a sinker, a 4-seam that kind of plays cutterish. He has a changeup that fades. He has a changeup that cuts, and he has a curveball. So
it spins at like 2,800.
Yeah. So if you're playing, if you're catching him and you're using pitch com, it has to be like they had to decide on like changeup, and then cutter was like the cut change. Mm-hmm. So like they had to do all this stuff. And when you use the pitch com for the listener, it's like changeup strike, or like changeup chase, or changeup in, changeup away, changeup. So like if I'm Kyle Hendricks and I'm trying to get, my catcher's trying to get what pitch I want, it could be like changeup chase, and he would have to be like no, and then it would be like changeup in because because he can do so much with the pitch that I think it became a challenge to get what he was actually trying to do. So this last start, so he threw a bullpen with the pitch com, calling his own pitches. This start, he got to just call his own pitches the whole time. So really cool that first time he does that, he goes out, absolutely dominates. I mean, he was doing his thing. He was sinkers top corner. He was top to bottom corner. He was change up both sides. It was so impressive to watch, but it was funny because Amaya was back there catching him. And it's like, how's your day going? It's like, you just listening, change up. Well,
that's
change up. What?
When I turned it on and I saw it was Amaya, I was like, holy shit, like Amaya's calling a no hitter.
That's what I thought too. I said the same thing. I was like, oh my God, good for him. But
then I saw the impressive thing about Hendricks too, like he'd throw a pitch and he'd instantly like go to his pitch cam, like knew exactly what he wanted to throw next. Like it wasn't like, like, what do I want to go here? He's like, oh, yep, this is where we're going.
Are his metrics still the same? Like, is he, I don't know, have you seen, like, you guys have it at your field with the horizontal and vertical?
No, we don't do that. We don't do that trash. I haven't
trash,
seen
the trash that gets people paid.
I haven't seen if it's all the same. He was throwing 87, 88. I mean, he had a lot more 88 balls than he's had for a couple of years. So it was
gives that shit more time to move too.
Well, the 4 too, like he's kind of throwing some 4s at 88. And I think people don't realize how sneaky his 4-seam is, because his sinker is like this big, like it can really go. And when he throws the 4, when he throws the 4, it kind of like even cuts a little bit or stays straight. And I remember facing him in 20 quite a bit during summer camp, and he would throw that like 4 on the outside corner to a lefty, and you'd be like, what is that pitch? Because you were just waiting for the one that like starts at you and like fades all the way across the zone. Then he would throw the kind of dot the 4. It was like, oh, so weird.
Dude, so you say you faced him in 20. I think I faced him in the spring of 19. First time ever, like obviously I knew who Kyle Hendricks was, and it was a live BP. And I was feeling good. And I remember checking out of these pitches so early, like backdoor 2 seams. And like Caratini's back there, catches it, and he's like, yep, strike. And I'm like, there's no fucking way that's possible. A strike. And you go back and watch, and I mean, it's like a whole baseball on the plate. And I'm like, dude, I am literally like, oh, hell yeah, I'm about to be in a leverage count. Let's go. Let's let this shit eat. No. Down 0-2, just like that. And then he throws the little cut changeup off of that too. What?
Yeah. So there's a cut changeup is just leaking away from you the whole time. It's really fun to watch him throw. It was great to see him do that. As far as the ball that hit the wall, It's one of those plays that Haniger was the guy that I knew was going to be tough because he has the ability to snap hook the ball to the left and also hit the ball in the gap. I was playing a little bit pool, a little bit deep, and then he hits that one. And you're running after it and you're going, just please hang up, please hang up, please hang up. And then you're like in the moment, at some point, like you have to stop before you dive into the wall. And like in that moment when you make the decision, it's like, fuck.
I mean,
Yes,
there was no chance.
There's no way you. I texted it to you.
Then you go back and you watch the replay and you're like, what if I just dove into the wall? Like, what if I just,
and that's what I texted
what
you.
if I
like,
just
as a
kept
joke.
running until I hit it? Like, what would have happened?
Because I texted you as a joke and you responded with like, yeah, that's my bad. I should have dove and snapped my neck into the wall.
You would have still been laying there if you jumped for that.
Yeah.
Like
It sucks because we made some really good plays throughout the game too. Talking an unbelievable play in center. Morel ran one down kind of all the way.
Tom's
in
boy. Talk
in
me.
that gap. Danzy made a nice play. I think Nico made some nice play. I mean, it was just like we had played kind of a pretty complete game overall, and that was the one hit. Tough.
And
But really awesome for Kyle.
Yeah, he it was the most like he I mean, he doesn't show any emotions, but he was like mad at himself as soon as he threw it because he missed his spot. Like it was like a little middle, like I think it was just a sinker in, and he just like left it a little over the plate, and it was like the most mad you'll see him, and he wasn't.
Yeah,
actually,
I think it was
emotion.
3-1. It was 3-1. He got a chase with changeup to go to 3-2, and then that was on 3-2 pitch. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Let's
but
I can't wait for Kyle's next start.
I was gonna say the only thing is like 3-2 and you have a no hitter. Do you think like let's just throw a chase pitcher? Like if I walk him, so what? Still got a no.
He had already walked a guy early in the game, so it was like I was kind of sitting there like I was like, if you walk this guy, I'll be okay with it.
It's okay. But yeah, college baseball. There's a ton to talk about.
Let's talk about college baseball.
Before we talk about college baseball, it's time to talk about our friends at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Hit it out of the park this baseball season with the aforementioned DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you use code COMPOUND only on the DraftKings Sportsbook. That's bet $5 for new customers and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Again, you got to use the code COMPOUND, and it's only on the DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Massachusetts, call 800-327-5050 or visit gamblinghelplinema.org. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Kansas, call 1-800-522-4700 on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, KS. 21 plus in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Opt-in and 10-plus leg required for 100% boost. Eligibility, wagering, and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/baseball terms. All right, let's get you guys back to the show.
The Super Regional is going on for all of our listeners. College baseball is hot in the streets right now. Super Regional. I think everybody is done. I think Omaha's set.
Yes, it is. Can we start with last night's game?
Sure.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. No, you go. You go.
Well,
sorry.
I sent you guys. Well, let's start with last night's game, and then we can talk about what I sent into the group message after that. Stanford and Texas last night, two teams near and dear to my heart because work out at UT knows some of the staff there, and then Nico's our friend, and he went to Stanford.
I was gonna say, why are you close to Stanford? It's
Yeah,
like your
well-
football teams. You like everybody.
He covers all of his bases, you know.
Yeah, he's got everything covered.
And I know a guy there. I'm a huge fan.
So we were just in San Fran, and they were playing at Stanford out there. So Nico was like, I wish I could go to the game. Some of the Texas coaches were at BP one of the days. So it really felt like we were in that series, felt like we were there. But big game, First game, Stanford blows it.
Mhm.
Right? Texas comes back on them.
I believe so.
And then second day, kid throws 156 pitch complete game.
That's
Which-
yes.
I'm so down for that, dude.
No,
Like,
hang on. We'll get it. Let's finish it. I had a big question.
Let's
about
go
the
through
pitching
it
in
and then we'll go
college.
back. Then
Yes.
we'll rewind. 156 pitches in a 9-inning game. Kid throws a complete game. And so the series is tied 1-1. Last night, 9th inning, 5-5 game, 6-6 game,
6-6.
whatever. It's tied 6-6, tied in the
Yeah.
ninth, 2 outs. First and second, fly ball to center. Stanford, bottom 9, fly ball to center. Both the center fielder and the right fielder lose it in the sky. Ball
Never
hits
saw
at
it.
Never saw it. 5 feet from the right fielder. Stanford wins. Really tough way for Texas to lose and get sent home.
The only guy that saw that ball was the shortstop. He's like pointing at it. He's like, it's right there. It's right there. And he's like, he can't, like, there's no way he gets to that and catches it.
Okay, so last night I played the outfield for 2 innings, and it was at that time where I was like, yo, if there's a fly ball to me, like there is a 0% chance that I can see this ball.
It's right before the sun sets that it's like,
Yeah, and like the sun sets
impossible.
really late here. So like it gets
Yeah.
dark at like 9. So like leverage innings, of course. And I'm out there, like I haven't played many innings in the outfield, and I'm like, yo, like a foul ball goes up, and I'm like, guys, I have no idea where this is. And like whenever somebody loses a ball, like we've talked about it before, like fans are like, oh, what is he doing? Like you legitimately cannot see the baseball.
no.
Cannot, like that's nobody's fault. It sucks that it happens in such a big situation like that last night. But again, there's nothing that you can do about it. Absolutely nothing.
I just feel terrible. Like imagine being a senior and
Yeah,
like,
it sucks.
that's how your career ends.
Sucks. A light ball.
But to the pitching thing, they brought in the guy that was pitching for Texas, started game 1, threw like 100 pitches and came back, and he was in relief like in that game. I think he's like their ace. And their closer had came in early and thrown like 90 pitches in that game. And you talked about the Stanford guy throwing what, 156?
156.
Did you see the guy? He like came out on Twitter and he was like, I mean, it was my last game. Like, I'm gonna do this.
And that's what I'm with
He
Zach.
he has
I
a
love it.
professional career.
Yeah. Like, I think that's awesome.
But it is crazy. Like there's some, like, I don't know. I'm with Zach in that I love it. Like guys coming back like that is so cool. Like
I think it's, dude, you know how much like of a locker room boost that is when your guy is just in the dugout, like, I'm good. One more.
Yeah.
Then it just turns into 100 more pitches. Like nobody's batting an eye. It's like, dude, I'm good. I'll have the rest of my life to rest in ice.
And I say my favorite pitching performance I've ever seen. This was 2014, New York State high school baseball. There's a name coming up though that you won't expect. 153 pitches for a sophomore to get his team to the section title, to win the section title, get them in the state tournament. First time they'd won in 30 years. That pitcher's name, George Kirby. 153 pitches as a sophomore, struck out
Jeez.
12.
Where did he go to school?
He went to, I believe, Elon for college. He went to Rye growing up.
He's from Rye? I didn't
yeah.
know that.
That's only a 7-inning game, though, huh?
Yes, 153 pitches.
Keep that pitch count down over 7.
gonna need
All right.
some more strikes in there.
Yeah. He's gonna punch
Hey, it
70
worked out,
tickets.
though.
Dude,
It
if
all
that was a
worked out for
9-inning
him in the
game,
end.
he might have hit 200 pitches.
Yeah, if it was a 9-inning game, he might have hit 200 pitches. Yeah.
Fuck.
I'm on the fence. I think that there is some responsibility to protect, because I'll parlay this too when I'm done. Kids are stupid. Okay. College kids are dumb. You don't have enough of like today is all that matters. And like, it's this is the biggest moment ever. And you don't have enough of like the perspective to go like, hey man, if I gave you 120 pitches and my arm's about to fall off, like that's all I got. And you got to get somebody else in here to finish this game. And then I have like if I do have the kid turned down a decent amount of money in the draft last year to go back to school, like there is a responsibility of the people that are coaching that team to make sure his shoulder doesn't pop off like Mr. Potato Head. And so like that's the kid is obviously going to want to pitch. Like he's going to want to go out there. He's going to keep going out there until literally doesn't have an elbow anymore.
Okay.
Well, and
but
so
if,
but But I'm not done. But I do think that it's a really cool thing. I think putting the team on his back and like making that performance. Now they're going to Omaha. Like that's a Stanford legend story that is really, really cool for the kid. Go ahead.
I don't think him throwing 30 more pitches than what his body is used to is going to make him blow out.
We had this argument.
If it's going to blow out, it's going to blow out.
We had this argument about Johan Santana when he threw his, what was it, perfect game or no hitter, and he was never the same after. Like you just never know when it's going to affect you. Like your body's not used to doing it.
I don't know if I'm blaming 30 extra pitches on him ruining his career.
Think about how often pitchers in the postseason, they get like the starting pitcher that starts all year goes deep in the postseason. They ask him to come out of the pen in game 6, game 7, the World Series or whatever. And then the next year, like that dude barely has an arm. Like there's
I think that's also,
happens.
I mean, that's also,
like,
you're coming back in 2 months.
Like but that's when you ask people to do the extreme stuff, that's when like, yeah, there's a ton of like extra stress.
I think coming back is a little bit different than going a few extra pitches.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. Like if you don't give your body an ample time.
The guy threw a game and a half.
But I
threw an extra half game.
I'm with Zach.
He'll be fine.
I'm with Zach that the coming back on short rest is much more taxing than the extra pitches in the same game. Because in the same game, you're on autopilot. Like you have so much adrenaline, like you're just cruising out there. You don't care how many pitches you're at. But the coming back on like 1 day, 2 days rest after 100 pitches, I was in college and I threw a Friday night. I threw like 95 pitches out of the bullpen. And I tried to come back Sunday. Like I told my pitching coach, like we had a close game late in the game. And I was like, hey, like, why aren't I going to the bullpen? He's like, you're not throwing today. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm definitely throwing today. He's like, you just threw 100 pitches.
That's when you tell your manager, hey, Skip, I'm good. And then he's like, yeah. And you're like, yeah, I'm good. And you're walking away. You're like, what the fuck did I just do?
Well, I did. Because in college, like it was against Michigan. So I was like, I'm throwing. Like, I don't care. I'm throwing. Yeah,
but it's like college kids are idiots.
But that's what I mean. That's what Ian said. It was a good point of like, that's where the coaches need to protect your future of like, dude, like, I know you want to throw. Your arm's going to fall off if you go out there and throw right now. And it's tough because college kids, like you want the ball, like that they're the ace for Texas. Like, I bet he's like, I'm throwing today. I don't care. Like I'm going in the game.
Yeah. How about, did you see the videos I sent to that group?
Yes.
Did you guys watch those 2 videos?
I mean, the Wake Forest jersey was upsetting.
What's going on in college baseball? I just want to know what's happening because Tom, you're going to have to put these in so people can see them. There's these college pitchers coming out of the bullpen. First of all, the wristband pitch calling thingy, hate the look. Second of all, these kids are just losing their gourds out there. They're going absolutely bananas and just screaming like MMA fighters or something. It's like nothing I've ever seen before.
Hey,
is this a trend that's going to continue?
The Stanford guy last night, he like got a big strikeout to end like the 8th, and he's coming off the mound. This is my shit, like just screaming. And I was like, oh my God, like I get your pump easy.
I mean, the Tennessee pitcher in the video Ian sent, he does a throat slash, like he's like killing someone.
Killing double throat slash.
What I don't like college is.
I bet Zach loves it. I bet Zach loves it.
No, I fucking hate it. And it sucks because I had so much fun in college. Like my brothers did. Like it's awesome. It's fucking great. It's a great time. You're playing with your best friends. But like there is so much shit. I'll watch a game and I'm like, I have to turn this off. Like this is not baseball.
It's too much. It's too much.
Like, and now umpires are getting involved. Like if a guy pimps a homer, they throw the guy out and then he's suspended. So like my brother's team, they were in the conference championship game. They were in the 8th inning, hits a big homer to go up by like 6. So it kind of like puts the game out of reach and like does nothing egregious to see like to what guys are doing in the big leagues now. This is at like probably like a 4 out of 10. Like it was nothing. Guy gets thrown out and like, so in college, if you get thrown out, you're suspended the next game. So they win that game. They go to South Carolina. Like, I mean, they lost by 3 touchdowns. It's not going to be the deciding factor, but this is like the only chance in this kid's life that he's going to go and play in an SEC school on a Friday night, and you're going to take that away from him because he pimped a home run? Like, come on.
But it is
the whole college baseball thing is like I love it. It's great. But at the same time, what the fuck are we doing?
I'm in the middle because, like you said, like it's kind of electric, but there are times where it's like, all right, you got to reel it in a little
Of
bit.
course,
Like
but
some
the
guys
thing-
are doing
like-
a little too much.
But like, there's some of these guys are 18 years old. Like, let
Yeah.
them just do it, and then someone wants to throw at them, fucking throw at them.
Well, that's the thing. They won't let they don't police. There's no policing of the game, so they're
No.
just lunatics. I think. Listen, I think the joy of college baseball and the playing for each other and like the purity of it is awesome. I think
Mhm.
some of this is the biggest games. To that point of their life for sure. It's like it's high energy. There's so much on the line because you play so few games to get to that point. But holy smokes, some
Yeah.
of the how many Red Bulls are they letting these kids have? Let's just relax with the pre-workout before we go onto the bump.
That's such a
okay?
college thing too, where it's like,
oh my god,
yeah, I put icy hot on my groin because it makes me go crazy, and it's just like,
yeah,
I need a velo slap. Hit me in the face before I go out there. Like,
yeah, punch me in the nose before I pitch. It's like I had 6 bottles of pre-workout in the bullpen. I'm so
where
amped.
I'm like,
What's
I'm
happening?
in the locker room before the game. I'm like, ooh, I can't have coffee right now because I'll be a little too amped up in the box in the first inning. So I have to really
that's
space it
me.
out.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it's kind
2
of-
o'clock. I have to stop drinking coffee. I'll be a little too excited.
But doesn't it make it kind of electric to watch?
It is.
Like you're like, it's like a show. Like you're watching and you're like, man, something crazy's happening.
It's cool
in
because
these
like
games.
every game for them is like, especially the big programs, it's cool. Like if you're playing a midweek game, like, yeah, it might not mean a lot, but like it's gonna mean a lot for their RPI. So like they are like balls to the wall, like we need to win this game. It's a long, short season. So most of the games matter.
Yeah.
I think the thing that I enjoy watching about college baseball is when like somebody hits a homer and the whole dugout's going crazy and they all come out and like somebody hits a double and like they're excited for each other. Like I enjoy that part of college baseball. Maybe it's because I'm a hitter. Okay. Maybe I don't like the pitchers trying to fist fight their teammates on the way into the dugout and throat slashing people and the constant screaming. I saw a video that I couldn't find for you guys that I should have saved at the time. And when I see it again, I will, of some high school kid at a prospect thing, or maybe it was a high school game, screaming in between every pitch. He would throw a pitch and then he would scream like, yeah, yeah. And then he'd get the ball back. It wasn't even an out. It was just like strike one. I'm like, this can't continue. Okay. We can't see this.
But it's
At
electric.
the next level.
You're talking about
Is
it.
it electric? What are
It
we
is.
doing? Is it WWE?
College is fun. Like I think I've flipped my stance. I think I love it. I think I'm all in on it.
I can't continue this conversation then. Let's talk about Bruce Bolt. Okay. You know who I saw wearing Bruce Bolts? I saw Benintendi wearing Bruce Bolts, and then I saw a couple college kids wearing Bruce Bolts out in the old College World Series. And I have my Bruce Bolts. Okay, the batting gloves I wear with a lightning bolt on them. And you know what else they just came out with? Baseball pants.
Ooh.
They've done so, but it's something that nobody's ever done before. They're durable, they're breathable, and they have a 4-way stretch baseball pant. They have 3 lengths. Okay, they got pants down, the low ones. They got the just below the knee, the shorties we call them. They call them knickers. We call them shorties. And for the first time ever, baseball shorts that are designed to fit above the knee. I think that's a trend. I think the baseball shorts is well, Hunter Pence did it way back, but who's doing the baseball shorts now? Who's doing
Bader,
above
I
the
think,
knee?
does above the knee, doesn't he?
Who?
Could be wrong. Bader, doesn't he wear pants above the knee? I could be wrong.
I know Bo Bichette does.
Bo Bichette. He's
A lot
the
of
one
guys
kids
do.
are following.
The
above the knee,
guy
Bo
from
Bichette
the
look.
Giants too, Estrada. Does he do it too?
He goes
young
above the
guy, I
knee.
think.
I don't know. He hit a couple homers against us. He rakes.
That guy is on the barrel at all times.
What kind of do you guys remember as a kid when you were playing like those shower tournaments, like getting the pants that would fit right? It was such a big deal.
Dude,
Such a big deal to get pants
remember
that fit right.
I wanted the baggiest ones. I wanted to be like David Ortiz and Manny so
Yeah.
bad. So bad.
It was such a big deal because you got, you had to go find the right pants. And then because my brother was 6 years older. Like I was like, I'm gonna do the cool thing that the older kids are doing. So like everybody was wearing their pants up at 8 years old. I was wearing my pants down. Like I would have my mom like I cut the elastic out and then would like sew would sew. I was way in. You gotta get it. Gotta get. I wanted to like a big league.
So
You know what else?
So,
Go.
sorry, go ahead.
Nope. Go.
I'm saying that's what I feel like right now, because in spring I got my pants tapered. So when I got called up this year in April, I was like, oh my God, I get to wear tapered pants. Like they're tight at the bottom now. Like they're not these fucking bell bottoms anymore. And I'm like, this is sick.
Ian,
Maybe
you know
I
what
should get
else?
some. Maybe I should get some new pants.
You should get some tapered ones.
I have the
Yeah.
sprayed on Wrigleyville pants. Maybe I should.
Yeah,
try
your
some ones.
Wrigleyville
Yeah, but like
pants
the
are
tapered ones,
compressions.
they fit the same. It's just tight at the bottom. That's it.
You gotta show your shoes off though.
That's what I'm
True.
saying. Your shoes would show off even more. You got the nice
Show your
customs.
shoes. That's a good point.
Ian, you know what else
Good
Bruce Bolt has? They have great arm sleeves. Got
Oh,
my shipment.
tell them about your arm sleeves. You got your arm sleeves, isn't you?
They sent me 5 arm sleeves. I
What
only
kind
got
of
2
colors
arms.
you got?
I only got 2 arms, but I love it.
Put one on your leg.
I might. I don't know. I got a maroon one that
They
I wear.
actually do have leg sleeves too.
I wore the maroon one. I wear that one when I sleep, and then I got 2 white ones, a black one, and a red one. Yeah, those are the 5. Beautiful. Oh, and a blue one. I think I got a blue one. I think so. But yeah, very nice of them to send me 5 of them. I'm excited. What'd you say?
There's a lot of compression.
Oh yeah, that's why I like it, because I like it when I sleep. It's a little recovery while I'm sleeping. Get a little blood flow to the arm, a little extra recovery.
That's fantastic. Go to brucebolt.us. brucebolt.us. You got batting gloves there. You got all kinds of baseball pants, and you have arm sleeves. And so check it all out. brucebolt.us.
Can we touch on
Is
other
there
sports? I had
do you
two.
guys want to talk
I had 2 non-baseball topics.
basketball?
The first one I wanted to start with was, did you guys see the Nick Taylor 72? Well, Ian, I know Zach saw it, but did you guys see the Nick Taylor putt to win it at the RBC Canadian Open?
Dude.
Yeah.
72 footer.
It was
That
sick
was-
because it was bad golf for like 3 of those playoff holes too.
Yeah.
Like somebody
Just
be like, oh,
grinding.
they're about to win. And then like, it would be a shitty chip. And we're like, what are we doing? Is anybody trying to win here?
Being on the West Coast, everything like you're playing a game and everything's happening during the game. So there's just like no idea what's going on. And then we come off the field and he makes that putt like 2 seconds after we came off the field. So I didn't really get to see any of the playoff holes, but like unbelievable putt. What a cool Canadian in Canada winning the Canadian Open.
And
Hey,
then
big
did
week.
you see Ian?
Big
Did you
week.
see Adam Hadwin get form tackled trying to go celebrate?
Yeah.
So people were saying,
unbelievable.
people were like, oh, what is the security guard doing? If anything,
You have to.
hats off to that guy.
You have to. Like if
Yeah,
a guy
absolutely.
runs
Doing his
onto
job.
the green,
That
it's like,
is-
hey man, what are you doing out here? Like I got to
Dude,
take you down.
He's like a top 100 golfer, but like golfers look way more normal than like baseball players. Dude.
I think he was in normal clothes. He didn't have his like,
Yeah, he
credential
had
out.
jeans
Like,
on. Like, what do
if
you
you're-
expect? Somebody's running up to him. Yeah, I'm gonna fucking
If you-
level this guy.
if you're a security guard, or are you trying to check credentials with guys who are running? around the
Yeah,
field?
like he didn't have time to stop and ask.
Spear
like,
him.
hey, yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I loved it too. If that was our security, I'd be like, all in, nice,
Great
one
hit.
tackle, do that again.
Ian, big week, U.S. Open week,
Big week, U.S.
Did
Open
you see
week,
the rough?
LACC.
dude.
Yes, I love it. I want the winner at 5 over.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we talk about this all the time. The best tournaments are when they're like the winners like 5 under, like with the PGA. Like it was hard. Yeah, it's cool to watch sometimes when they are just absolutely flag hunting when they're 30 over after 2 rounds, but at the same time, it's just not realistic. Like we want to see guys shit fuck balls.
Well, the whole point of these, Augusta is Augusta, right? The Augusta sometimes, depending on conditions, they can play really hard and they can be single-digit winners. And then sometimes, depending on conditions, the guys are eating it up, and it's always a tough test. But those guys are very, very good at golf. And then you get the other 3 majors where, depending on conditions, those guys are grinding. Some of those British Open courses are impossible. There's been U.S. Opens. You think back to Oakmont in 08. It was a 5 over, 6 over winner. Like you got to watch PGA this year where it was single digits. Like those are the events, the 3 events of the year where these guys get absolutely torched, and it's really, really fun to watch. And I'm hoping, because of the weather in LA and because of the setup, I'm really hoping it's an impossible 4 days.
Someone told me that there's like a 290 par 3
Bro,
this course.
Yeah.
290 yards.
Mm-hmm.
What
That
the
is
fuck?
incredible.
It's-
I guess it's supposed to be downhill, so it plays like 235, but
I've
still.
played it a couple times. It is a
course you have.
very
Why wouldn't you?
challenging
Why
golf
wouldn't you?
course.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, can't hide it.
Yep.
And then the last thing I had was Nuggets winning the title.
Dude,
Coolest part of the whole thing, I texted in our group text. I said Jokic went up and shook every Heat player's hand before he even celebrated.
it's awesome. He's a beauty.
He's so cool.
He seems like the nicest guy ever. What do you got on this though? I want Zach's take on this. They asked him if like you're excited for the parade, and he's like, I just want to go home, man.
Dude, so
He
I
literally-
saw that
he
and we were
seemed, like,
talking about
upset.
it. Like Scott was like, I think if I'm a fan, I'm kind of pissed, but at the same time, it's like, grueling that like they've been playing since October and it's June, almost July, middle of June, whatever. And it's like,
They
bro,
do
they've camped in like a month. Like
They have the longest playoffs of anybody, right? Their playoffs is like absurd.
yeah, and
Their
like
season starts
I-
in like November or
yeah, dude.
even
No,
sooner.
it's usually right around Halloween. Like
Yeah. So they've been playing for 8 months.
yeah, so like I get it. Especially with all the media you have to do for the finals. Like, I mean, he's the best player on the planet right now. I mean, the guy's averaging a triple-double, he's a walking triple-double. Like, that's a lot. He's a big guy. He's banging on the boards. Like, let him go home.
I get it too, but let me say, I would be so fired up for a parade. I would be so
Yeah.
fired up for a parade.
Yeah.
I would be like,
agree.
get me to the parade. The parade. This is what I want. I want the parade.
Where is
He
he
looked-
from? Where is he from
Serbia.
again?
Serbia.
Yeah, so like, is he gonna go back to Serbia?
I think that's where he lives.
So
'cause
like,
he
I
has like
think
horses.
I think it's
I think
different.
he has a horse race in Serbia.
Yeah, it's different if he's going back to Denver and it's like, oh, I want to go home. But like,
But he's
that's going to a
genuine.
different country.
He genuinely looked annoyed that he had to go to this parade. He's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just want to go
I hate
home.
Can we
Yeah.
we got to is there anything else you want to say about that? Anything else you want to say about the Nuggets?
That was all I had. I mean, they
That
were
was
the best
sick.
team
It
all
was
year.
sick for the Heat just to get there, especially with that roster. But
Yeah.
we were saying, I was like, yeah, the Heat just have no chance.
I don't know if you guys saw the owner of the Nuggets is like he's had an unbelievable run. I think
Yeah.
hockey, basketball. There's like 4 sports he's won a championship in
He's
the
rich.
last like 3 years. Let's do slow screen time for the people. Tom's getting mad at us because John Boy wants the account. I actually did a John Boy thing with Chris Rose in Anaheim. So check out for that. I'm helping the YouTube channel because I'm a company guy. Tom, you're welcome.
Yeah, you
We
are.
talked Blitzball. So I'll give you a little plug, a little shout for the Blitzball. People go over to the YouTube, watch the Blitzball channel.
Warehouse games. Thank you. Yes.
Warehouse
Check it
games.
out.
Babe. Sloan, world's leading manufacturer of commercial plumbing systems. The company is at the forefront of the green building movement, provides smart, sustainable, hygienic restroom solutions by manufacturing water efficient products, including flushometers, faucets, sink systems, soap dispensers, fixtures for commercial, industrial, and institutional markets worldwide. Learn more at sloan.com. Give me your screen times. Is this for yesterday we're doing?
Yes. I was kind of impressed. Mine was only 3:52 because we had a bus ride where we didn't get back until 5 a.m.
How the hell
Sunday into
did you
Monday.
Sleep? The hell did you do?
I slept from 6 to noon and then I went golfing.
Nice, good for you.
Yeah.
I told
Can't
you
take
I had
days
a-
off from golf.
I told you I had a long one yesterday. I was doing a bunch of shit on my phone. 5:22.
That's not that bad, though. I thought
No,
you were
I
going to be
know,
like
but-
closer to like 7.
No, I thought I was, dude. When I was like sitting there when I was doing all the apartment stuff, I was like, "Oh fuck, we got to record tomorrow. This is gonna be a career high."
It crosses my mind every time
Yep.
too. Like the day, like Sunday, Monday. I'm like, maybe I stay off the phone today.
I'm 3:44. It's my Sloan screen time. 3:44. We got in late past midnight from San Fran, and I can see my phone time on the bus back to Wrigley. That was not good for me. Not good. Tom?
Oh, 933.
That boy, Tom, get it in you.
Almost double digits, Tom.
Oof.
Ian, do you
Was
play
that at
cards
the-
on Lane?
Yeah.
Nice. You're rich.
Dang it.
I actually don't play in the poker game. We have me and Danny Mueller and Jim Aducey have a little
Deuce.
Were you playing Bure?
Buddha, yeah.
Can't beat it. Best game.
What a
in the
couple
world.
of beauties to be playing with, Danny
Yeah.
and Deuce.
Yeah, we've been running it for a couple of years. It's a great game.
Just three of you playing Bure?
No. There's more players in there. There's more players in there, but
Nice.
those are the usual suspects. Sometimes some people come in and out. I think the most we play with is 8 people in a Bure game.
Maybe
When
one
was
of
the
these
last time you
days
guys played Bure?
maybe one of these days you'll tell us how big the pot gets.
It's not that big.
But it can be though. Bure is a game where you could play for it doesn't matter what you start at. Like it could get nuts quick.
Yeah. We keep it light though. It's a light game.
Friendly. Just a couple guys hanging out. Guys being
Yeah.
dudes. I haven't played
Yeah.
Bure in I think maybe last year on the bus. I think it was the last time I probably
Such a
played.
good game, dude. It's such a good game.
So fun.
That's episode 163 of the Compound Podcast presented by Parse Rum. I can't wait for our fans and listeners to go look up what Bure is and try to play a couple games. I would have no idea what Bure is without minor league baseball. Absolutely.
It's a sport. I feel like it's all around. Like I've heard hockey players talk about it. Like they play it all the time too. Like,
No
it's
way.
Like, it's like a sports game basically. Like athletes play it. I don't know how it came about, but it's very fun.
Go to Benny's, get your Parse. We'll see you next week.